just spent 10 minutes making the beginning of this video, and it turned into its own video, so I'm just gonna make this one just what it is. This is a Diksha blessing from the Divine Mother, however you want to define that deity, being, etc. But before I get to the actual thing, I just wanted to talk about Diksha in general. I bring it up a lot because it really is an amazing experience in whatever form you find it. There is the Diksha blessing. There is, and I've come to define Diksha as any type of extremely high energy that changes the brain, changes the perception, changes the feelings in the heart, to give one an experience of enlightenment or awakening. Okay, so this can be, and always was originally, a an energetic gift from a guru, so that they would touch you here or something somewhere, and you would experience a sense of divine presence in everything around you. You would have a Diksha experience, is what we would call it today. Then it became the Diksha blessing, which was a specific movement with a specific guru and a specific type of energy. Really amazing stuff as well. And there's also something attached to that called the Ilahinur, which is like the light of God, and it's a little different. It has this like ancient Egyptian type of feel, and it's more heart-centered and draws energy downward usually. So that's pretty much what Diksha is. Most people will do it by placing their hands on top of your head or over your head. And I know the Ilahinur people tend to focus more on the heart, so they might do both, or one or the other, different things like that. And I just wanted to give my experience of it. Diksha can be extremely mentally disorienting, and that's not necessarily a bad thing, because to us, the levels of spirit to which we are attempting to rise are extremely mentally disorienting. We're down here and they're way up here, and there's so much more expansion of consciousness and feeling and awareness and perception, whatever, all the same. You feel crazy, and so a lot of people, they would have emotional experiences while receiving powerful Diksha. They would have moments of crying, moments of hysterical laughter, God experiences, expansion of consciousness, and that feeling that everything is one. I used to melt into the table myself and get like, oh my God, what did I just take? And it's really awesome. Also, but okay, first, that has to do with the higher centers, okay? It's an extremely high energy that is way up here, coming down, and it is affecting the higher centers of perception, and this is typically from where we perceive, even though our locus of perception should be right in the heart right now, at least. It'll change later. In the center of the heart, this is where we're supposed to live and evolve upward. And so when you receive those energies, a lot of things get messed up. Not messed up in a bad way, but different. They change. We have a strange experience. That could be a Diksha experience, a oneness experience, bliss experience, whatever. And it might last for some people for quite some time and make you feel a little loopy. This doesn't happen so much anymore because the world has been getting so many Diksha blessings, and this intense energy has been clearing things out and also getting us more attuned to it naturally, even though we don't know it. And a lot of people have mentioned this recently. If we were to experience the level of energy that we are operating on now only like 10 years ago, we would experience it as bliss. It would be that intense. And that has been a huge hallmark of my entire personal awakening experience. I would do these things and I would have this intense bliss, and I would be in these states for a very, very long period of time, melting into the table or whatever, and then seemingly it didn't work anymore. And it's like, well, what happened? Is the energy getting, less and less and less? No, it's that you are actually embodying that consciousness more. You're operating on such a different level than you were 10 to 15 years ago, or less even. You get it. So, there's that. That was a little rant about Diksha. And in those disorienting experiences, the way we can get ourselves back to normalcy is to have this energy come down all the way through us and move into our heart centers. So I'm going to use two different examples. Well, no, I guess that's only one. Kind of goes together. I don't know that there's any instruction in this, but the way I prefer to do Diksha is to get it from up here, to allow it to come through my skull area, the crown chakra, I guess, right in the center of the head. You connect to the energy that way, it flows down. I always make sure I have the tip of my tongue on the roof of my mouth so that it can keep flowing downward and into the heart center, okay? So that's an energetic path that most meditators will know, whether you're doing Taoist or Hindu yogic tradition type meditations. This is a mudra. It connects the little paths. Energy which would normally pool up here or start spilling down in different places will come straight down through the tongue, the throat, and then into the center of the heart. Okay? So that's something that everyone should know. That's how I start. And then as Diksha is coming down, pooling in the heart, pooling in the heart, pooling in the heart, it can also move this way, out the arms and out of the hands, okay? So I think that's a good base for giving Diksha. Because if you do it all in your head and then just put your hands out like this without any connection or moving it, you're going to get spaced out. And I think that's a mistake a lot of people make. You can still get spaced out, but it will be a much more centered, physical, loving spiritual experience if you allow it to physically move into the heart center and give it from there, okay? A lot of people don't really have a problem with this. They do everything with their heart. I do everything with my mind, and so I have to train my heart to be more of a resonator, and this helps me because I like to work with physically moving energy that I can feel in certain places, certain areas, and then letting it come out, okay? So that's the way I prefer to give Diksha. And then you can do it to the person just over their hands, or you can put one hand on the head and one hand on the heart, and this helps to create that pathway for them as well. Because when you're channeling Diksha, you're getting Diksha yourself. You're going to get swept up in that experience and experience some amazing, blissful spiritual feelings. The person is supposed to experience those feelings too. And so that's the point. Being a Diksha giver is to give that experience to other people. So you want to make sure that you are physically channeling this energy in a proper, healthy way and in a powerful way, because a lot of it can just get in the head and stay there, and then you're not thinking about your hands, which you really shouldn't be thinking about your hands too much, but you're not really moving energy. Because I've gotten Diksha from different people, and it was like, whoa, that person is really powerful. It's not the person that's powerful, it's the Diksha that's powerful. It should always be powerful from whomever you're getting it. But that person might be a little clearer than the other person. That person might have their channels a little bit more open. That person might physically move the energy in a certain way in order to make it more physical feeling, more obvious, and heart-centered, perhaps, so that it stays there longer. Because when you're moving down in the chakras, they spin slower and slower, each one, and so the heart is on a very human level that we can really understand. It's very delicious. Up here, it's much more buzzy and crazy feeling and mental and all that kind of stuff. So you're moving it down, and then you're getting it down here. It slows down, moves out your arms, out your hands, and you're doing this stuff. And yeah, the energy that you'll be giving them is more filtered through the heart space and more easy to digest, for lack of a better term, for the other person, okay? So that's something that I like to bring up, because I think so many people are just like, divine Diksha blessing, woo! You know, and it's like, okay, well, there is a little more to it than just completely letting yourself go. If you have these things established already, if you do these pathways, you're used to those things flowing in those directions, this is going to be a natural thing for you anyway, and so you don't need to think about it. But I just want to try to, I want to try to get away from the hocus pocusy, hopey wishy thing, you know, that it's just like, I mean, I do preach and teach intention and how to use that, proper intention and all that kind of stuff. But sometimes it's a little more than just putting your hands on someone and leaving it up to God, you know? Yeah. And I also have feelings about that because sometimes it is just about letting everything go and leaving it up to God. So, anyway, that's a little other rant on Diksha. And to cap off this video, I'm going to give you some Diksha from the Divine Mother. And that's another thing, is Diksha can come from any type of spirit. Divine Mother Diksha, for what I'm saying, is an experience of love and enlightenment and all that kind of stuff. So a specific type of energy, obviously, is very heart-centered already. So it can also come from Krishna. Krishna Diksha is very much up here in the mental realms and really opens up things in the multiplicity of the universe, the many and the one. Oneness Diksha, to me, is like solar based in a way. It's got a very strange solar energy. It's extremely high, extremely golden and powerful, and seems to dissolve boundaries. And so you'll see the one in the many, or the one in the one in the all, as opposed to multiplicity in the oneness. You know, so it's always differently colored, whoever it's coming from, whatever it's coming from. This is because I'm having a lot of heart openings today, and my heart, I mean, not today, just recently, and my heart hurts because it's so active right now. And as I was saying in my last video, we experience things in order to make our hearts more open and to vibrate and resonate more openly. We experience difficult things in order for this to happen. This is how we accomplish things on this planet. We have to go through these experiences and then learn to not become blocked and jaded and shielded and afraid and attached. Alright.